All right, let's jump right in. We're talking about Microsoft and this absolutely massive, high-stakes battle they're in right now. It's all about one thing: survival in the age of AI. Can a giant, a real titan, actually pivot fast enough? Or is it going to end up just another ghost in the tech graveyard? And it all kicks off with this, honestly, a pretty shocking quote. You've got Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, one of the biggest, most successful companies in the world, and he's saying he's haunted, not by a competitor, but by a ghost from the past. So you gotta ask, right? Why is a guy at the top of the world so worried about becoming a ghost? It really drills down to this core fear. What if they mess this up? This isn't just another product cycle, this is the big one, maybe the biggest tech shift we've ever seen. And the fear of getting it wrong is very, very real. Okay, so to get why he's so spooked, we need a quick history lesson. Because believe me, the tech industry is basically a graveyard filled with giants who thought they were untouchable. So what's this DEC thing he's talking about? Well, it was a company called Digital Equipment Corporation. And back in the 70s, they were the company for mini computers, a total powerhouse. Here's the kicker. It was the very first computer Nadella himself ever used. But they made some bad bets, missed the next big wave, and by the early 90s, gone, outcompeted. So for Nadella, this isn't some abstract case study from a textbook. It's personal. It's a warning.
And look, DEC wasn't a one-off. There's a pattern here, a brutal one. Think about it. Xerox in the 70s, Bell Labs in the 80s, even Big Blue, IBM, in the 90s. All of them were on top of the world until they weren't. They failed to see what was next. So that little question mark you see there? Yeah, that's what keeps the folks at Microsoft up at night.
So, okay, is this all just paranoia? Is Microsoft really in danger? Well, despite all their wins, there are some, let's call them cracks, starting to show. Some signs that they might actually be stumbling. And these aren't just whispers. At a recent company town hall, one employee stood up and said the company feels markedly different, colder, more rigid. Ouch. For a CEO like Nadella, who has spent years trying to build a more open and innovative culture, that has got to sting. It's a direct shot. And it's not just one person's opinion. The Verge talked to a bunch of employees, and the consensus seems to be that morale inside Microsoft is at an all-time low. You've got these huge layoffs happening, combined with this insane pressure to win the AI race. And yeah, it's taking a huge toll on the people inside the company.
You know, it's funny. Microsoft burst out of the gate looking like the clear winner with their OpenAI partnership. But since then, a lot of people feel like it's been one stumble after another. Their flagship AI product, Copilot, is having a tough time keeping up. Then there was that whole messy Sam Altman firing and rehiring thing at OpenAI, where Microsoft's response was just confusing, and all of this is feeding into a really big, kind of sneaky problem. Is this thing called shadow AI. Here's the deal. Microsoft wants every single business to use their official, secure AI tool, Copilot. That's the plan. But what's actually happening? Employees inside these companies are just going straight to public tools like ChatGPT because, frankly, they think they work better. This is a nightmare for Microsoft. It creates massive security holes and just totally bypasses their entire strategy.
Okay, but let's be real. This is Microsoft we're talking about. You don't count them out. They are not just going to sit back and let this happen. No way. They are fighting back, and they're using their biggest weapons to do it. This is where we get to what you might call Microsoft's unfair advantages. First, they've got what's called enterprise lock-in. Basically, millions of businesses are already running on Microsoft stuff. Windows, Office, you name it. They're stuck, in a good way, for Microsoft. Second, they have this insane distribution power. They can push a new feature or tool to hundreds of millions of people overnight. And third, they're not too proud to adapt. They're even putting competitor models like Claude from Anthropic right inside their own products just to make sure they have the best tools. And they are absolutely putting their money where their mouth is. I'm talking about billions of dollars. They're dropping a cool $3.3 billion on a massive new AI data center in Wisconsin. And get this. Before that one's even done, they're already planning a second one right next door for another $4 billion. We're talking about an absolutely colossal bet on pure infrastructure. So what are they filling these giant buildings with? Literally hundreds of thousands of NVIDIA's new Blackwell chips, the most powerful AI hardware on the planet. And this isn't just to run Microsoft Word a little faster. No, this is about building a monster of a supercomputer to train their own next-generation AI models from scratch. The strategy is clear. Outbuild everyone. Win with raw power.
So why the massive spend? Why all this hardware? It's all pointing to one thing: the next big frontier in AI. We're talking about autonomous agents. This is the real prize. This is the next battlefield.
And this isn't some far-off sci-fi stuff. They're already doing it. Just look at Microsoft Teams. They're putting these AI agents right into the software. Imagine an agent that just sits in your meeting taking perfect notes for you, or one that automatically organizes your team's schedule, or one that just kind of hangs out in your chat channels, ready to answer questions by pulling information from all your company's documents. It's about weaving AI directly into how we work every single day.
But here's the thing. They are not the only ones doing this. Not by a long shot. Google's building agents into Chrome that can book your flights or do your online shopping for you. Notion's new agents can create whole documents and connect to your Slack and email. This isn't just a Microsoft thing. The agentification of software is happening everywhere, and it is happening fast.
So that's where we are. You've got Microsoft, a company literally haunted by the fear of becoming irrelevant, and they're pushing all their chips to the center of the table. They're betting billions and billions of dollars that massive infrastructure and these new AI agents will be their salvation. It is a historic wager on their own survival. And it leaves us with one huge, lingering question. Will it actually be enough?